recording in 3, 2, 1. I've got some good news for you for the new year, and it has to do with your prescription drugs and your wallet for change. Some really great news for consumers. And joining me now is Mike Koelzer. He's a pharmacist. He is the host of the Business of Pharmacy podcast, which I encourage you to listen to. So, Mike, let's talk about this for consumers, some exciting things going into the new year.
Yeah, the consumers are going to be saving a lot of money at the pharmacy, and there's going to be a lot more transparency at the pharmacy. They're going to be able to go to the pharmacies that they want to go to, and ultimately they've got more choices available to them instead of being bossed around by the insurance companies.
I think that's great news, especially because so many people are going to one pharmacy because they get a better price for antibiotics. They go to another pharmacy because they get a better price for their blood pressure meds. So how is this changing for them?
Well, the insurance companies, there's a lot of fat in the middle of insurance companies that is a lot of smoke and mirrors that keeps the prices high. And so some laws have changed to really simplify the process of who's paying for what. And ultimately, it really helps the consumer because things are cleared up. It's not as opaque as it usually is, not as much smoke. It simplifies things, and the consumers win because of that.
Yes, and also on top of that, you're going to be able to have more choices when it comes to generic drugs. I know a lot of people get, frustrated because they know there's a generic form out there, but they can't get that prescription when they ask for it from their provider.
Yeah, the insurances and the middlemen, they don't like to sell the generics because it takes money out of the market, and they want to keep a lot of money in the market so they can all get their hands on some of that profit. So these laws finally allow for employers and consumers to say, no, I want that generic. That's 1/10 of the price.
And these laws just came about in the last couple of weeks. And how did these finally get pushed through? I mean, this is something consumers have been complaining about for decades.
Yeah, the insurances or the pharmacy benefit managers, they've got a lot of lobbyists in Washington. They've got a lot of power, and they've got their hands in a lot of the profit. But there was finally a decision 2 weeks ago in the Supreme Court. It was an 8-0 decision for the states instead of for these big insurance companies. So it was a huge win that now is going to filter down to the states. So now every state can look at their constituents and the cities and the people that they know, and they can start making rules that benefit the people and the employers instead of having to just bow down to these big insurance companies.
So how soon can consumers start seeing this happen and see the effects ultimately in their wallet?
Yeah, some of the states have actually not made these rules because they were thinking, why make them if they're not going to win ever? Now the states have to come back, and they've got to work with their pharmacy boards, really define these rules, and then these rules will start taking effect after they even make the rules. So probably anywhere from a month to a year, as soon as the legislatures know that the decisions they make are probably going to press forward instead of being denied by these big insurance companies.
Well, the big news, though, is, of course, that it is coming. Change is finally going to be here, hopefully sooner than later. And that's great news for consumers to have more money in their wallet when it comes to prescription drugs. Thanks so much, Mike, for joining us and giving us a little bit of info on something that we didn't know about. And, of course, if you would like to learn more about Mike, all you have to do is listen to his podcast, The Business of Pharmacy. And I will have more information, including a link on 13onyourside.com. All right.